Firstly, tremendous thanks for documentarian and director Oda Kaori for joining us today. So I would like to start by asking questions primarily for the time being about the Cenote Speaks. And I would like to start right away with asking you about how the film came about. So what was the context of you making the film, and when was the exact moment that you decided that you wanted to make a film about coming out to your family?
ノイズが言うには2010年
Right. So that was back in 2010. I was in the States, and I was at this university taking the course of liberal arts, and I was there for 18 months. So I was doing painting, drawings, and also I shot things on the camera. And I was taking this filmmaking course in the university. So I had this. So you have to make you've got your graduation show, so I have to make something for that. And I was aware of it constantly, and I was wondering what to make. And on a summer holiday, I went back to Japan to see my family, stayed there. And I was thinking of what to make. What do I want to make? And then I remembered one of my teachers said that, why don't you make something that you think as an issue or you're struggling with, and you might want to face up to it and create a work out of it. Then I thought, okay, that's my sexuality. And also not only that, but I'm not able to tell my family what my sexuality is. And that was a fact, and that's how it started. So when I actually came out to my family, I wasn't thinking of making a movie out of it. So obviously there was no camera rolling, no footage, no nothing. So I spoke to my family, explained to them, but I didn't quite get a positive reaction from them. What happened was my family decided it didn't happen. It's not happening. This isn't real. And they didn't even want to talk about it. So I thought, right, I really need to do this again. I need to own it. I need to talk to my family about it, and so that's why I decided to make a film.
Thank you very much. This was, from what I understood, the film was made quite a while ago. So when you look back on this period, what is something that stands out to you in your memory as something very particular or special about the process of making the film?
ノイズが言うにはこの10年11年
So it's been 10, 11 years now since I made this, but it's always stayed in my mind. It's always with me because I have learned from it constantly. I still am learning from it. Obviously, this is my very first movie, and at that time I thought, this is it. This is my film. But what happened was I thought I hurt my family because the real people are playing themselves for real. So I really felt like I was giving them a really hard time. Again, I was beating them up unnecessarily twice by making a movie. So that hurts. But obviously it was painful for me as well. And so that the pain is the most memorable thing to start with.
I would like to move on to Cenote now, which is your much more recent film. I think we have a unique opportunity to see your evolution as a filmmaker as well, since the films are several years apart. So I would like to ask you how you feel that your filmmaking style and your mode of expression has changed.
Yes, that's actually changed really drastically. My first film, That's the Noise Speaks, that was self-documentary, and that was me and my family. And they say that when you make a self-documentary, you would struggle to make the follow-up. And I was no exception. So I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know what I want to film next. So I went to Sarajevo, wanted to go to somewhere new, wanted to meet some new people, start over. So I think my filmmaking is, say, making a movie within the 10-meter parameter. And also the polar opposite is going to really far away place, meet new people and shoot them. And obviously these people, well, I mean, you think I'm not really related to them because they're living so far, but meeting new people and then I get related to them. So my style are just two different things, I think. In terms of filmmaking and structure, yeah, in the last 10 years, I have learned and studied, and I hope I've learned a bit. But what I'm trying to do is listen to those who are in front of my camera and record as they are. Listen to them really carefully without disturbing what they say. Want to true to them and also want to be honest in terms of recording them. So I think in the last 10 years, I've been experimenting, trying to do just that.
So speaking of the interviews and of the voiceovers within the film, I also wanted to ask you if when you were editing the voiceovers and structuring them, what was the concept behind this structuring? Was there any narrative thread that you wanted to construct, or were these, in your eyes, raw and unfiltered interviews with the people that you spoke to?
インタビューはですね、ところどころそのまま。
So yeah, we used the interviews, but obviously we had to edit everything. But the voiceover, I actually wrote it. I wrote it and somebody actually read it. I went to Mexico 3 times for filming. And after the second time, I thought, well, before the first 2 times, it was quite random. It was very instinctive. So I go there, I find something, right, I want to shoot it, let's go into the water. So it was very, 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 very instinctive. And but after that, I thought, right, how am I going to construct it? How I set the structure? So I thought, well, okay, you would need a narrative. So how am I going to work on it? Then I came up to this, the spirit of the water, or the spirit of the sacrificed girls in the premises. And so I got some phrases from the actual interviews that we did, and also I quoted Mayan poems or books. So I quoted from these things as well. And but yeah, I definitely needed a narrative, and that's how I constructed the film.
The last question that I wanted to ask was mainly about what you expect out of your future projects and what your current interests are with regards to filmmaking.
I
have got 2 projects going on at the same time right now. One of them is we shot in Japan. Well, we're actually shooting in Japan. All these subterranean underground space, say for example, the air raid shelter or the wartime tunnels or sewage system. And so why these? So I went to Aragane and Cenote, or Sarajevo and Mexico. I shot in respectively. They're both shot in the underground. Different themes, coal mines, water, but still in the underground. The people have actually asked me why subterranean, why underground, and I couldn't quite find the answer to that question myself. So I said, well, we had some connections, or something called me to the underground. So I decided, right, okay, if I go to the underground again and see if there's a reason or not, there might not be a reason at all, but there might be, and then if there is, what is it? So I decided to shoot ruins or things that people did under the ground. But so far there's no people, no person in the film. And on the other hand, the second project is about people in this institution with people with special needs in Aomori, north of Japan. And I'm at the editing stage. But this is about the people who live there. And it's not the underground, it's overground. So I'm working on 2 different projects.
Oda-san, thank you very much for joining us today. Kozue as well for acting as translator today. Thank you very much for participating. The discussion was wonderful. ありがとうございました。お疲れ様。
こちらこそありがとうございました。小出さんもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.